I mean, you could have lettuce as a treat to build up your immunity, but then
As a what?
a treat.
Okay, sure. Yeah, so do you want to talk about the Traitors? That's my Alan Cumming.
Okay, yes. He is so fun. Okay, this was a great episode.
I agree.
Well, okay, so I'm calling this episode Traitors Fear Factor Edition.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that challenge. I'd have such a hard time doing that challenge.
Yeah. I would have been okay with it. Well, okay, first off, it all depends whose hand you're holding.
Okay, that's the
Like,
hardest part of all. It's like, I do not want to hold, like, Tom Sandoval's hand.
I know! And he got to hold Dylan's hand. I would say the number one hand in the group.
Yeah, probably.
Dylan has grown on me, and now I'm, like, so into him.
Oh. Interesting.
He just seems so sweet, and then he's obviously, like, hot as shit. He's got a great body, and he's taller than Zach. And he's got beautiful blue eyes.
He's cute. Well, let's just say that.
He's really cute. I need to know more.
Well, I am not the expert, so you'll have to ask his brother. Do you remember when Bob said that his brother was not good at acting?
I know. But he and Bob are friends now.
Iconic.
And he understood it was just a read.
Yeah.
It was iconic. Yeah, so the challenge would have been really hard. Especially, yeah, if you were holding, like, Tom Sandoval's hand. I would have just been out. I don't care.
Yeah, I wish the challenge was just, like, keep your hand in the box.
Yeah. I kind of thought that's what it was going to be.
I don't, like, are you okay with bugs and stuff?
I could do it in that context of, like, I know it's a challenge. I know that they can't give me something that could really hurt me because they could get sued. So, yeah, I could do something like that, but I wouldn't be excited to do it.
Just, to me, 8 minutes is a really long time.
Yeah, it is a long time.
Like, the millipede things I could do, but when they put those other things, they said they were scorpions, but they were, like, very clearly the spider they used in Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix to demonstrate the unforgivable curses. Those things, no way. I didn't even know that was real. I thought that was, like, fake from the movie. I'm afraid of spiders.
Yeah, no,
so
that was nuts.
To me, that looked like a big spider, like a creepier spider. But I feel like once my hand was in there, I'd be too afraid to move it to get it out. So, like, I think I would do it just because I'd be too scared to get my hand out. Like, I wouldn't want to move it if there was stuff in there on my hand. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think what obviously I would have definitely been fine the first few minutes, even though I wouldn't have been loving it. But once they started dropping the cockroaches and the mealworms and the maggots, that would have been tough. And then once they put the snake on me...
Oh, the snake? I would have been terrified. Even though it probably has, like, no teeth.
It was definitely one of those, like, ball pythons that are, like, harmless. But, like, it just becomes too much. And also, none of these people need this $4,000. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's kind of like, they're all there. They're all, like, trying to win the money. I'm like, do they need it, though? Like, why? Like, they're just there to get more TV coverage. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Well, that's what I'm so curious about. Like, most of them, if not all of them, are getting paid more in appearance fees than they could ever even win from the prize pot.
Yeah, it's like, it should be a charity season.
I guess.
And the charity is Tom Sandoval. Rehab.
I wonder if that would show up in the video. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't know those things worked on this app.
Yeah, I think it will.
So anyways, 5 of the 6 teams complete it, which is amazing.
Okay, yeah, Crishelle didn't even do one thing.
Good for her.
Who is her partner's name? What's her name?
I don't remember who she was with. Was she with Brittany?
No, with Crishelle.
Yeah, she was with another woman, but I forget who.
Who was Crishelle with? She was with, I think, a housewife. I don't know what else she would be.
Oh, was she with Delores?
Yeah. When they showed her with the goggles strapped over her red veil, I was cackling. I posted that on my Instagram because it's still so funny to me.
That's really funny.
She was pissed at Crishelle.
Well, that was the thing, is that, Delores is not there to play. She's there to win.
But I think once the stuff started happening, I think she was happy Crishelle took her hand up first. Because I don't think she was going to be down for all that.
Yeah, I agree. One of the things that's so funny to me is how Crishelle just keeps coming for Tom Sandoval, even though, like, no one else thinks he's a traitor, but everyone obviously hates him.
Her alibi was like, if it was me, you know Tom would have been gone by now. I thought that was funny.
That's a great alibi.
She's one thing, like, if not consistent. This was the first episode where she didn't, like, directly get someone sent home, which I thought was interesting.
Oh, yeah. Well, she'll be gone
first
at some
in a
point,
while.
I think she has to be. Yeah. Well, okay, a couple other things I thought were notable. Number one, you really saw how Boston Rob has won so many of these, or done so well in so many of these type of games, by the way he was able to, like, talk Sierra through the panic. Like, that was impressive to see.
Yeah. He is so calculated. Like, I don't know if he thinks of all this ahead of time or how much he comes up with on the fly, but it's so good. Like, there are some holes in what he says, but the way he talks is so convincing, nobody notices it.
No, it's really good. I did think he had a chance to... I didn't think it was a guarantee he was going home this week.
I really thought he was going to stay. But I'm really...
The only reason I thought it was him was because there wasn't a compelling alternative. Like, he didn't have anyone else in his sights who was, like, convincing enough.
Yeah.
They had done enough to get him out. And he really kind of sacrificed himself a little bit because the 3 traitors were not agreeing, and murdering Derek, like, was going to be the most obvious that it was him, and he agreed to that because that was the only thing the other 2 would agree on. And I think that was, like, hit the final nail in the coffin.
But I thought he really wanted to do that, and Danielle didn't. Because Danielle was really close with him because he was on Big Brother, right?
That's not my recollection. I thought that they were... he was saying, I don't want to do that because that's going to be so obvious for me.
Oh. I don't think that's correct.
Okay, well, that's what I think.
Well. I know what I know.
I will say I watched the first 20 minutes last night, like, late in bed, and then Brendan fell asleep, so we turned it off, and then I finished the episode right before this. So my final 2/3 recall is much better.
Oh, there you go.
But I could still be right.
I just know you're not, because I remember.
Okay.
And Danielle was, like, crying about it. She was, like, losing her mind about it. And she was like, I hope Derek forgives me because this is not what I wanted to do. And she said, Rob, if I give you Derek, will we put all this shit behind us? And he said, yes.
Okay. This is new information to me.
So, take that info to the round table.
Okay. Noted.
This would be so fun to play in real life.
I know. I know. People play it. People do get, like, rent houses for the weekend with a group of friends and, like, play.
Well, how do I hire someone to do that for me? That's too much work.
I don't know who. Yeah, it's a lot of work.
How much do you think it costs to get Alan Cumming there?
$25,000.
How much just for his wardrobe?
More than you'd think.
Yeah.
A lot of those pieces are expensive.
I'm sure. I really liked the wedding look he had.
Yeah, that was really fun. Oh man, and him just like cackling with delight at them absolutely hating it. It was amazing.
Wait, what did you think about Wes going home? I can't believe he went home.
Oh, 2 episodes ago?
He was my favorite.
Yeah, he was good. It was a bummer. Because they really should have gotten Rob. And that was how Rob survived another week, was like being able to put it on somebody else.
I think the difference was like Brittany knew they were going to go for her, but Wes was blindsided and it caught him off guard. I think if he had known, he would have been able to defend himself better. Because, again, there were always holes in what Rob says, because it's like all lies, so there's going to be holes. But Wes was too like panicked to dissect it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There's been a lot of discourse on
he was fun.
He was hot. There's been a lot of discourse online of like which is the better show that has like the smartest people, like Survivor versus Big Brother versus The Challenge. And I don't know. What do you think? Because you watch Big Brother, right?
No, I'm not really into it.
I thought you did.
I love Survivor. I've seen every season.
Okay. I don't know how Big Brother works, so we need a third correspondent.
It was recently explained to me on a different podcast. It's a Survivor-esque game. Basically, each week they have a challenge for a head of a household, basically. And if you win the challenge, you get to decide 2 people who are put up for eviction.
Okay.
So that's the main difference. Whereas, like, Survivor is, like, the whole tribe gets to vote. And then if you have immunity or if you have, like, a hidden advantage, you can block it. But there's more chances to vote for people, I guess, if that makes sense.
And if you're up for eviction, is it just a vote or is there a game component?
I think it's usually just a vote, but I think they occasionally do it. No, I think it's always just a vote. But I don't know for sure.
Okay. I think it's just interesting, like, in this game, where they bringing in players of different games, of, like, all the different strategy that they have. Like, Crishelle was accusing Wes. She was like, I don't like you, so I'm going to send you home. She was like, you're playing too hard. You're just, like, trying to get blind loyalty. And Sierra said that, too. And, like, that's how you play the challenge, is, like, it's similar to Survivor, where it's, like, a numbers game. And all, like, the best thing you can have in that game is people that will, like, just do what they say they're going to do. So that's kind of like what he was trying to do here. But then, obviously, it didn't work out for him because they wanted to be more independent, I guess, and go with their feelings instead of, like, playing as a group. But I just feel like it's an interesting dynamic to see, like, what strategies pay off here and which don't.
Yeah. Well, because, I mean, we've seen Survivor players play extremely poorly, and we've seen Survivor players play really well. But who was it earlier this season that was just talking about the Survivor players and was like, those Survivor players are all strategy and no fun, and they just cut straight to it. I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I think it was one of the housewives.
One of them called it out in the last episode. They were like, when I hear a gamer accusing another gamer, it's like, you can't take it seriously. It's like all game, right?
Yeah. No, that's a great point.
So I just feel like from the outside, it's so clear that Rob was the traitor, because everybody else, traitor or not, when they get accused, gets flustered. And he just presents calm, robotic, totally in control. And it's like, the only way you could feel totally in control is like if you were the one who is, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you saw from the way he would talk through, like, he's a calm person. and that serves him well. But I think you're right that was like a red flag, even if it is partially who he is.
Yeah. That's why Dylan drove me crazy, because he kept siding with him over everyone. And I was like, sis, you're getting played so hard. I felt bad for him.
It was the only thing that gives me the ick about Dylan a tiny bit, is how he was so, like, obsessed like a Simpson over Rob.
I know.
And, yeah. I was like, wait a minute.
Everyone was just like, oh, Rob, you're so smart. We trust you. You're so good at this game. Like, hello. Wake up, babes.
Yeah. But he was voted out, like, pretty handily. So. And then the episode ends, obviously, on a cliffhanger where the traitors have to murder someone face to face. I think that'll be very interesting.
Who do you think they're going to pick?
To see how that
Who do you think
goes.
they should pick, and who do you think they're going to pick? Because I know they're not going to pick right.
Okay, great question. Well, what do you think? I need to think about this.
I think they need to pick Dylan, because he's like one of the only smart people left, besides like Brittany.
Well, it's so funny, yeah, because in my notes, I wrote down as I was watching, like, Dylan is a traitor hunter, but then, to your point, he was so blindsided by Boston Rob. But his speech to open the roundtable was really good with, like, Boston Rob, but then he goes for Brittany, which, like, makes no sense. So...
Yeah, his speech made no sense.
But he would...
Because for that, what he said was, like, we were going to vote, like, Rob, and you were saying, like, no, don't vote Rob. So that means you were the traitor trying to protect Rob, who's a traitor. So that would imply, if she was the traitor doing that, that Rob was also a traitor. So why wouldn't you just still vote Rob?
Yeah.
Sorry, that drove me crazy, and nobody said that. I was like, this is dumb.
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, I think they need to keep Delores. I think Delores is really flying under the radar, but at some point they can go for her and say, all three of the other housewives were murdered, and the only one who's still here is Delores, and she must have done that to throw the scent off of her that housewives are being hunted, but actually she's the traitor because she's hunting the other housewives. I think that's a smart move waiting to happen.
Yeah, that's good. I think if they were to go for Delores, they could pin it on Tom, because she voted for Tom for no reason. There was like a lot of throw votes. Yeah. I was surprised, which I think is dangerous in this game, because then people can pin those back on you.
Yeah. I think they should murder Crishelle. I think that she would be a very confusing choice, because no one thinks it's her. And I think that, like, will throw chaos into the mix.
I think you could also pin it on Tom if they pick Crishelle. But I do think Dylan is the smart choice, because I think people will listen to what he has to say. He's like has that like leader vibe. Now with Rob gone, like someone needs to step up into that role. So if they get rid of him, it's just going to be chaos.
Yeah, I agree. Especially since like Rob was his weak point, but then he did lead the charge to get rid of Rob, at least in the edit, and like was right. So I think that could be suspicious. Like, people could argue that was suspicious, because they could say Dylan was so obsessed with Rob and voted with him, and then all of a sudden is like trying to get Rob, and must have known he was a traitor because Dylan's a traitor.
But then there would be like I don't know. I think it would be a lot for them to like eliminate 2 of the traitors from inside.
Yeah, but stranger things have happened.
I wouldn't know. I'm a traitor's virgin.
See. Well, what's going to be interesting is normally, like, most seasons there have been 3 traitors, and once one gets voted out, they get to recruit a faithful. But this season, that didn't happen because they brought in Rob, made him the 4th traitor.
Yeah.
But now that 2 are gone, in theory, they should recruit again. But that's not happening based upon the murder thing they have to do. So because you only get to do either murder or recruit. So it's going to be interesting.
Maybe we're getting close to the end and they're just going to leave it at 2.
I think so, and I think if a third one gets voted out, I think then they'll recruit a second one.
Maybe, yeah. I just really hope Carolyn wins.
I know, she's so good.
She's not having it with any of their bullshit. I love that.
I agree with that. And she just, like, you know, the thing with Survivor players is there's so many ways you can win, and she just really has what it takes to win this way in an impressive way.
Yeah. Oh, I just love these kinds of shows.
Yeah, it's really fun.
I gotta go on one. I gotta do it before I die.
Okay, let's call, we could text my friend.
Yeah.
The thing is, I also want to go on one. I need to call it in my own favor at some point. I just feel like at some point something's going to find me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay, actually what I really want to do is produce my own, like a YouTube version. I think that would be really fun.
Well, you totally can. People did that during the pandemic with, like, Survivor stuff.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do stuff like that. Like, famously Mr. Beast, but obviously a lower budget.
Who?
Redacted.
Did you see when he got engaged and they were all wearing Mr. Beast sweaters on, like, Christmas? I'm like, oh
he got engaged to a woman?
Yes.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I'll send it to you.
A lot of people hate on him.
I think it was Christmas.
I honestly think he just is like, well, I don't know. I don't want to get canceled yet, so never mind.
Some of what he does is cool. Like, to be very clear, some of what he does is really cool. And it is impressive. There's just certain things that's like, I think he's taken the feedback of, like, feeling like things are a little taken advantage of people. I think he's taken the feedback and tried to make it a little more, still fun, but a little more, like, remove that element. But I don't know. I don't follow him closely, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard, like, when you're...
My company's CEO, like, always talks about him, though, so I actually do hear a decent amount.
I think it's just, like, such a hard line to walk when you're using other people as your content. It's, like, inherently exploitative, so I don't... Obviously, you're gonna mess up sometimes.
No, 100%. And, like, I don't know. He makes so much money and has so much money that it's like, you know, he should be giving probably more of it to the participants. Because if you're giving people real money and they fully know what they're signing up for, then, like, it could still be exploitative, but at least at that point it's, like, more of a fair bargain, you know what I mean?
Sure. Well, it'll be interesting to see where things are in a few years down the road.
If we're all still here.
Well, he'll probably still be here.
That's true. He's probably got an escape helicopter all lined up.
Yeah. It'll be a YouTube video.
Oh, yeah, so true.
Your room looks nice. So I see a lot of that in frame instead of you.
Okay, well, I brought my thing today on the road with me, so I feel very much like I'm close to in frame. Although I see Brendan hung up his shirt on the railing, and he would be annoyed if you could see that.
Well, we did.
I'm at the Venetian. I'm at the Venetian, which is my first time here.
Slay. As we all know, multiple Italian-themed hotels in Vegas, which I knew all along.
Yes.
That's fun.
They joined World of Hyatt, so I'm getting my points on.
I did not know that.
It's brand new, because it happened like 2 weeks ago.
Oh. Perfect.
How are you today?
I'm good. Babe, wake up. New chair just dropped. Do you see?
Fun.
It's a swivel.
Oh, I love. Are you still in your room?
You mean my podcast studio? Yes.
Great.
Yeah, it's the same room.
I know your shirt is Orville Peck, but it kind of looks like that painter.
Sure.
The one who cut his ear off.
Sure does. Picasso?
Yeah.
You think Picasso looked like this?
Like, so I could see it.
Okay, I will say...
I almost said Leonardo da Vinci.
Well, that is a painter. Was.
Yeah.
It's not the prettiest shirt. But it is him. I thought I would wear it in honor of the Grammys episode. My country album of the year.
Did he even release one last year?
I think so. Or wasn't that the one that had the Cowboys are secretly, frequently fond of each other cover?
Oh, yeah.
That's hard to say, by the way.
I noticed. Well, that makes sense. Are you done working for the day?
Unfortunately not. So...
Oh, that's sad. I was going to say happy weekend.
Oh, well, you still can.
Early. I saw the funniest thing when we got off the plane. I was walking behind this girl who was, like, wearing, like, Juicy Couture style sweatpants with something written on the butt. But I couldn't figure out what it said. It either said farm girl or it said fam girl. I can't decide which one is more likely.
I mean, I think they're all bad.
She didn't look like a farmer.
But fam girl written on your butt is implying incest.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it wasn't the M that was the hard part. It was like, was there something between the A and the M? That was the hard part.
Oh.
It was written in that font that, like, you know, when people get crazy tattoos.
I see. Well, I hope it works out for her.
Me too.
So, how was your week?
It was good. I went to Dallas. I had a great time with my sister and nieces and nephews and brother-in-law. And I went to the Dallas Open tennis, both 2 days in a row. And I had a lovely week.
Nice.
How was your week?
My week started... Should I talk about my last week and how it affected this week?
But that's not a thing.
I'll say, like, I'll do weekend, which was... My weekend started on Thursday for me, even though I had to work Friday. But I went to see a play, which I told you about. It's called The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. For those of you who don't know, which is probably everyone...
And me.
It's a play based on a book about a young adult kid who has autism, and he witnesses his neighbor's dog. Well, he finds his neighbor's dog dead, murdered, stabbed with a pitchfork, which is crazy. And it's about, like, him, like, discovering himself while also trying to solve the mystery of the dog. It was really good. The dad was very hot. One issue I had was, for some reason, they made this kid, the actor, take his shirt off multiple times, which I thought was really weird. Like, they had people taking his shirt off. Like, it was like the mom, like, changing him, or the dad changing his shirt. And I'm sitting, like,
Okay.
Literally in the front row, because it's a small theater. There was like 30 people in the whole theater, although it's not that tiny, but only 30 people showed up, which is sad. So I'm like literally like 5 feet away from this guy like taking a shirt off of this young kid. It was just really weird. I was like, why did we have to put this in the play?
Like 12-year-old?
Well, the actor was probably like, I hope 18, 20. He was Australian,
okay.
So it's hard to
Could
know.
Be hot. It is really hard to guess the ages of people from different countries.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
And it's also difficult because he's acting as a child, so it's like you can't. There's not a lot of good clues.
Got it.
So that was odd. I was like, when's somebody gonna take the dad's shirt off though? That's what I wanted.
I agree.
Oh
my god.
Sorry, but guess what I also saw in this theater, famously?
Like recently or in the past?
In the past.
Okay. Was I living there at this time?
Probably. But this is what's also known as a callback to previous Cont.
Hamilton.
No, I would never see Hamilton.
Me neither.
You know I hate
For the
Hamilton.
record.
Sweeney Todd.
I would have seen Hamilton a long time ago. Oh my god. Did this one have scissor hands?
Well, I wasn't sitting that close enough to see, but I would guess not.
Right, based on the other ones that don't.
Based on the canon of the show.
Well, that makes sense. That's fun.
So that was my Thursday. Friday, uneventful. Saturday, I was supposed to go out of town, as you know, for my husband's birthday.
Yes.
We were going to just do a night in Palm Springs just to like go have a nice dinner and chill, whatever. And I got like the worst food poisoning or norovirus or something I could have ever imagined. And I spent all of Saturday running back and forth from my bed to the toilet.
That's horrible.
So I didn't get to go. I told my husband to just go because at that point the room was like paid for.
Yeah.
I probably could have like rebooked, but I was like, it literally was his birthday, like the day of. I was like, just go. Like, you don't want to be here with me. Like, I would want to be here with you. So he went without me and enjoyed it, but I was at home really sick and missed. So that was my L of the week.
That makes sense. Are you feeling better?
I would say I'm like 95% better. So.
Okay.
Mostly good.
So the 5% could be anything, frankly.
Yeah, true.
Do you know what gave it to you?
Okay, so I think it was famously Chipotle. So on Friday, I went to the gym, I think Friday, and then I kind of snuck out of work to go to the gym, and I was leaving the gym like literally at like 12:15 p.m. And there's a Chipotle like 2 minutes away. So I was like, amazing, I'll just pick up Chipotle for lunch and I'll be like cruising right back into work. I walk in there, dead empty. There's one person sitting in there eating, like weirdly facing the door, and he like watched me come in. It was really weird. It was like a warning.
Well, because sometimes you don't want to have the workers watch you.
Yeah. And I literally was in and out in 2 minutes. I was like, this is amazing. It's so fast. And now I think there's a reason why nobody was there.
Do you remember the days when every Chipotle would have like crazy lines?
Yeah. Well, actually,
and
I don't think those days are over.
I do. Based on A, my own experiences, and B, based on your experience.
Okay, well, this was a one-off, but normally, like, if we'll go to a Chipotle around dinner time or lunchtime, that shit is lit.
I went to Chipotle for dinner last Monday night on my way to Disneyland, and there was no one there. But I lived.
Now I'm afraid to like ever eat it again, honestly.
Yeah. In-N-Out gave me food poisoning when I was like 14 or 15. I was going to go to Six Flags with some people, and I had it. I think I must have had it for lunch or early dinner. I think we're going later in the evening. And I just like really started to not feel good, and I just like for some reason decided to stay home, which is not like me, and then I just ended up in a similar situation. And I am so fortunate I made the right call.
Yeah. That's crazy.
But it took me, I would say, at least a year to go back.
Wow. The issue is, I feel like in my brain, Chipotle is like a healthy-ish option, depending on what you put on it.
It is.
So it's like...
It's also really easy to track their macros.
Yeah, that's what I like about it, too. So I really don't want to rule that out as an option. I mean, I won't go back to that one. But I guess I could always get something else. Like, I got steak that day, so now I could just get chicken. Because I don't think you get food poisoning from rice or beans. Do you?
No.
I mean, I guess you could.
Did you get lettuce?
I did get the lettuce. After being... Okay, so, like, I've always been afraid to get lettuce from all their issues, but lately I've been doing it. I've been taking the risk, and it came for me.
Well, do you remember I famously worked at Chipotle?
I do now.
It has now been almost 15 years.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. But they were like super, super, super clean and super focused on things. But yeah, the lettuce in particular, at least used to be, delivered to the restaurant like fresh out of the ground, like dirt clumps in it. You find bugs in it.
Yeah.
Like this was like fresh as lettuce. And anyways, they would, were in charge of washing it themselves. And anyway, it was just so much lettuce and so much washing. And then I've just talked to people who say, and it's bad because it's kind of all vegetables are your most likely source of some of these bacteria. But anyways, I would just skip the lettuce.
Then what are we supposed to do?
Well, I think it's one thing if they're cooked. It's another if they're not cooked.
Oh, okay. So get the fajitas only, but no lettuce.
That's what I would recommend.
Okay. Got it. It's a great...
I mean, you could have lettuce as a treat to build up your immunity, but then...
As a what?
A treat.
Okay, sure.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
It's okay. I lost 5 pounds.
That's amazing.
Not really.
And you look thin.
Oh, thank you.
I don't really have an L of the week, so
Oh.
that's nice. Well, actually, no, I do have an L of the week, which is the flight from Dallas to Vegas this morning. I had to book the 7 a.m. flight because it was the cheapest, and like long story, but that's what we had to do. And then I decided yesterday I just couldn't do that because I was gonna have to be up like in the 4s because we had to return a rental car and stuff. So I just like paid the change fee to change it. But the only seats left were middle seats, and I did decide it was worth sitting in a middle seat over being awake in the 4s.
Yeah.
But it sucked, and that is my L of the week.
So you scammed yourself by originally booking the early flight?
Well, the problem was, like, Brendan was there on a work trip, so he had to book his flight through his company portal. So he had to book the cheapest option, which was that 7 a.m. flight.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. Because, like, the next flight was at 9 a.m., and it was, like, $200 more. So we didn't have to pay the fare difference. We just paid the change fee ourselves, which, like, It was free to stand by on it, but we just wanted to confirm it. So, yeah. But it sucked.
Yeah.
But not as bad as it would have sucked to sit in an aisle seat at 7 a.m.
I'm trying to think which would I choose. Well, how long's the flight?
It's just under 3 hours.
Ooh.
But keep in mind, we were at the tennis last night, and we weren't going to get home till like somewhere between 11 and 12. And had a long week.
Yeah. I would have just ended it all. I would have taken the later flight, for sure.
Yeah. It was the right decision, but it wasn't a good one.
Yeah. Well, could have been a worse L. Like mine.
Yes. Mine's worse.
I don't think you know how bad it was.
No, yours was worst. I was being silly.
Yeah.
My W of the week is Hugo Boss has a new underwear campaign.
Oh.
And they are just paying hot men across the board to model this underwear. So my Instagram feed this morning was just like surprise full of like hot men in Boss underwear ads. It was really fun.
I haven't seen anyone noteworthy.
Sam Salter, David Beckham, Steve Gold, the realtor from $1 Million Listing, who's like hot as shit. And then just a bunch of other random influencers. Like, I was curious because those three came up organically for me, and then I just searched Boss Underwear on Instagram.
Okay.
There's a lot of professional ones.
Well, I'll have to do some searching myself for research.
Yeah, you'll have to. You'll have to research, mama.
Got it. My W of the week is that I'm still alive. Okay, actually...
Well, that's a mixed bag.
I'm a 30, flirty, and thriving.
If you've been paying attention.
Okay.
Well, I'm happy that you're happy to be alive.
Thank you. On this joyous day.
It is a nice day.
Actually, I want to change my W. Because I wrote my W previously.
Good.
And now... I think my W is Gaga's new song. It really...
Oh, yeah.
I didn't want to say I didn't like it at first, because I definitely did like it. But you asked me, and I was like, it could be better. I still stand by
You did
that.
say that.
However, I like it so much more now.
It's really good. I mean, people are losing their shit over it, which I'm not, but it is really good.
Yeah. Did you like the video?
Yeah, the video is great.
I think that's what made me like it a lot more. Usually the video makes me like really, if I'm like on the fence about a song, the video will like either pull me in or spit me out. And Mama, this one pulled me in.
Yeah, it really was giving like the Fame Monster era, which is like objectively her best era by far.
Okay, thank you so much for saying that, because I hate the Born This Way stands. I think Fame Monster was the best.
Yeah, and then Chromatica, I would say, is like a pretty close second. But
Oh my god.
Born This Way really disappointed me. It's grown on me a little bit, but I remember it came out, I think this was when music still came out on Fridays, and it came out, I think, the week we graduated from high school.
That sounds right. I remember like that summer was the album experience.
Yeah. Let me look out of curiosity. Yeah, May 23rd, 2011.
Okay,
And
date us.
that's definitely like exactly when we are old. Yeah, next year will be our 15-year high school reunion. Well, we won't have one.
Yeah, I was gonna say. We shall not be reuniting, but it will be 15 years post-crowd.
Yeah. A joke just came to me that I'm going to keep to myself.
Same. Wait, you have to say it and I'll edit it out. Well.
Oh my god, I have so many things to say that I know you could edit them out, but let's just convene.
It's probably better just to not say them at all.
I agree. Although, okay, you saw like one of those Doge guys got fired for all these racist tweets, and then Trump was like, "Bring him back," and they just rehired him.
Oh, I only saw parts of that story.
I think it's still like happening as we speak, but
well,
like that's the new update.
He pulled the badonkadunk lever correctly.
Okay, that was a good joke.
Thank you so much.
Well, maybe that one could make it onto TikTok. We'll see. It's just like cancel culture can never exist again.
I really wish it did, though.
Well. All right, continue to say extremely offensive things, and maybe you'll bring it back for yourself.
Okay.
Oh my god. Well. Moving into pop culture. Do you want to start with the Grammys or do you want to start with the Traitors?
Let's do Grammys, because I already alluded to it and roasted. Lightly roasted.
Yes. I mean, the Grammys were great, and they normally are not.
I was going to say, I don't remember them usually being as entertaining as it was.
They're usually, like, much less organized than this. And they're usually much more chaotic, and it kind of ruins it. And this just really struck a good balance of great performances, decent jokes, although I have never thought Trevor Noah was very funny.
I think the jokes, I mean, obviously he doesn't write them all, but I think the jokes are funny, but I don't find his delivery that fun.
That is the problem to me, too.
Yeah. Did you see the Doechii eye roll meme and the Gaga too?
I did.
I mean, good for them for saying what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
They didn't even have to speak.
Well, my favorite thing that they did, I think, was like, and I think this is the first time they've done this too, was to give each of the, Best New Artist nominees their own little segment to actually perform.
That was fun.
It was great.
Yeah. I forgot exactly what it was. The tweet was like, poor Benson Boone had to go right after Doechii or whatever. It was like before or after.
Yeah. Doechii was great. That was a great performance, a great choreo.
I agree. I thought she slayed it. That's all.
I agree.
I was like, I do have one criticism,
I'm excited
but
to see.
Maybe I just won't say it.
You can. Okay.
So
because everyone agrees she was like one of, if not the best.
Yeah, and I do agree. She just did like one thing that drives me crazy, which is like when their track is playing and it's like supposed to be them singing and they pull the mic away from their face. That drives me crazy. Because it like ruins the illusion.
Yeah, well,
it's like one thing if you're not going to sing the entire chorus because you're going to do a dance, but to be mid singing the chorus and then pull the mic away, it like makes me want to die.
Well, many artists do that, but Ms. Gaga, that is, I would say, the number one offender in that area.
It is, but I feel like a lot of times, like she will just not do the whole part. Not just like one or two words.
Yeah.
And because she's like doing her thing. Doechii, I feel like she only did that like a little teeny tiny bit. But
yeah.
I think it was the best performance of the whole night.
Yeah. Well, okay, so what did you think of Benson Boone, the aforementioned?
Oh, so I was like, he did the same performance he did at the VMAs, which is like a flip off a piano, which once you've seen it once...
It seems like that's his move.
It's like, that's the same thing.
Yeah.
I did see this post that was like, not Benson Boone standing up when Chappell Roan was going off about artists not having health care. And they're like, that man should not be flipping if he doesn't have health care.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. Did you see the one comparing side by side of all of his outfits next to Harry Styles?
Oh my god, yes. I can't believe that's real. Well, maybe it's not, but...
It was a little too close to be, like, there was, like, 5 or 6 that were, like, near identical. It's a little too close for, to not at least be inspired by.
Yeah. I mean, I will say men's fashion is harder because there's not a lot of options.
Yeah, but he's been, like, wading into, like, the androgynous fashion zone.
I mean, like, really what I want to say is, like, when a woman does it, it's bad, but if a man does it, it's okay, right?
I'm not saying it's okay.
Just kidding.
I do think he's hot.
Okay.
At the end of the day.
That's crazy, but go off.
Okay, you're not into it?
I don't like the mustache. I would not even dare to call it a mustache.
Yeah, I want that gone and I want his hair trimmed, but like he has a great body.
Well, yeah, but I need more than that.
I also need to get to the bottom of his like Mormon status. He was raised Mormon, from what I can tell.
I did see a funny post about that. They're like, oh, it all makes sense now.
Yeah. But then I guess he has a song about, like, losing his faith and all of that, so I feel like the rest is still unwritten.
True. Maybe he can collab with Tyler Glenn.
And David Archuleta.
Oh, I didn't know they were previously Mormon.
David Archie?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been, like, really on the recent journey. I would say he's, like, the last, like, 3 years. But he's, like, our age.
Yeah. Well, good for him.
And then there's also Dan Reynolds, the Imagine Dragons guy, although I think he's straight.
Is he? He's always shirtless, running around.
Well, I know, looking good, too.
I did see another post about Benson Boone. It was like...
Put him in a Hugo Boss hat.
Yes, would love to see it.
Put them all. Why not? Put everyone in one.
Okay, but what you did say for ins and outs was that there was going to be more straight man jockstrap content. We're getting close.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
We are getting closer. It's only February 7th, so I do... have faith.
Okay, by mid-April,
that we will
see Benson Boone in a jockstrap.
I think that's right.
He does have a good body. I would like to see it.
Yeah, me too. Okay, fun. Yeah, in terms of best performances, I mean, Sabrina Carpenter is like a star. She was so funny.
Sure.
When she walks behind the stairs, I'm sorry, that was fucking funny.
She just doesn't do it for me. And I saw that she
does it for me.
I don't want to say copied, but copied that bit from someone else. And then didn't add anything special to it. I thought was like very Benson Boone of her.
I'm not aware of what you're referencing.
Well, apparently Goldie Hawn like literally did that bit where she walks down the stairs and disappears and then climbs over the top. It was like identical.
Oh.
I just feel like Sabrina is very like low energy. That's not my favorite. And I was watching the performance with my mom, and it was really unclear to my mom that it was like switching songs. Like she thought it was just all the same song. And then when I was listening to it, I was like, they kind of do all sound the same. So that's my...
All right.
You think she takes feedback?
Not this year. She's on top of the world.
Well...
She sold out an arena tour, and she won a bunch of Grammys. I don't think she's taking your feedback this year.
I just feel like on the spectrum of like... I don't know. Adele to Gaga, I prefer the Gaga side of like doing a lot, and she's more on the like doing a little.
Okay.
Which is fine, because like obviously Adele's very successful, but she knows that's her zone. I feel like they're really trying to push Sabrina into doing more, and that's not really her zone.
I mean, I went to see her show like December. It was excellent. I don't know. I disagree with you on this. I think she's exactly where she should be.
Well, I think a lot of people disagree with me, which is normal.
Well, she has a deluxe album or version of her album coming out with Dolly Parton next week.
Okay.
So that's going to be fun.
I'm interested.
And you won't be listening?
I mean, I liked Espresso. I liked Please, Please, Please. What else is there? I like the other hit one.
Feather?
No, the one with the video with Jenna Ortega.
Oh, I don't know which one that is.
It's like, you'll have to taste me.
I feel so much better taste? Like a feather with you off my mind. Oh, yeah, Taste.
Although I will say,
you'll just
the video was good because of Jenna Ortega. Anyways, who else did you like?
Yeah, you're just really realizing how much you hate her. And I really love her. Who else did I like? Chappell. Chappell was great.
Oh, her performance was great. I loved it.
Yeah. I love that song.
It grew on me. Like, it was a slow start for me. I didn't really care for it or her album, but it did grow on me over time.
Oh. Yeah, I would say 80% of the album. I don't really like the slow ones. Like there's like a song called Coffee that's a little too... Could use some espresso,
yeah.
If you know what I'm saying.
I hear ya. I thought her performance was really fun. I liked the giant horse. Very cowboy.
Yeah. I think it's a pony.
Well, what animal is a pony?
Okay, it's baby horse, but
Thank you.
The song is called Pink Pony Club, so you can't call it a horse.
Okay, that's fair.
Otherwise, I'm not that picky about my animals.
Sure.
Well, okay, and then, but the Gaga thing was so fucking funny. Like, when it said presented by MasterCard, it's like, it's just so cringy to me.
Yeah.
It's so Gaga to have something that could be a 10 out of 10 and just, like, make it an 8. You know what I'm saying?
Well, she does love to do, like, sponsored and affiliated things, but...
Yeah.
I just really wish, like, she would have done, like, surprise performance of the song instead. Like, I don't know if this is true, but, like, when she released Born This Way, wasn't it the performance was, like, the song drop?
I don't remember exactly, but she did a lot of performances, to your point.
I hate that album.
Sitting in that goop.
This was the one where she was in the egg, and they carried her in the egg, and you never got to see her.
Oh, yeah.
And then she came out of the egg and did the song. And I think that was when she debuted it.
That's correct.
See, it's like, that's the kind of shit that I like. I don't like it short and sweet. I like it big and crazy.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, we'll see what's to come. But the album comes out pretty soon.
Yeah.
You know what I hope? I'm putting this out into the universe. I hope she does a residency at the Sphere.
Who?
Lady Gaga.
Oh, well, we were just talking about Sabrina, who could, frankly, never.
We were just talking about Lady Gaga. You were talking about the egg.
Oh, I thought you went back to Sabrina and said the album's coming out.
No, Gaga's album comes out in like a month.
Yeah, that's exciting.
And I hope she does a residency at the Sphere.
What a great idea. That would be so fun.
Because I really want to... I know, I really want to go see something there, but everything that's been there has been of zero interest.
Yeah, same.
Like, I wouldn't even take a free ticket to most of the things that have been there.
Yeah, it's not worth going to do that. I think Gaga, if she did it right, it would probably be one of the best things to see there.
I think so. The rumor was they were going to get Beyonce, but then that is obviously not true because she just announced the Cowboy Carter tour.
Well, will you be attending?
I hope to be attending.
Oh, fun.
Will you be attending?
Well, as you know, I saw her last tour, so maybe I'll skip this one.
Yes. Classic Joseph. Yeah. She's playing SoFi Stadium on Brendan's birthday, and so I'm hoping we can get in.
In a box?
Somehow.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
I really love the album. And I'm excited to hear the songs live. So I'm definitely going to go. I just don't know how yet.
Okay, so if you're keeping track, Beyonce just released, well, not just released, but she previously released her gay dance album, which, if you will, her art pop era. Then she released her country album, if you will, her Joanne era. I am excited for the Chromatica era Beyonce album.
I see what you're saying. The rumor is the third part is rock.
Oh, so her Born This Way album. I could do rock.
Well, yeah, it'll be interesting because, I don't know if you know this, but Beyonce actually recorded Cowboy Carter before she recorded Renaissance. And the plan was to release Cowboy Carter first, Renaissance second. But then after the pandemic, she decided we needed the joy of Renaissance first. Which I think I agree with.
Well, yes. I mean, I liked that album. I didn't care for the country album.
I really like it, but I understand it's not to everyone's taste. Although, album of the year, baby, so it looks like you're the one who's wrong.
Well, sorry if 13,000 voters disagreed with me.
It was crazy they kept saying that. I'm like, we don't care.
I think it's because of, like, did you watch that guy give the speech about how the Weeknd was, like, boycotting whatever?
Yeah, I didn't know why that was.
I think that's why they kept saying it, so that it could be clear, like, this wasn't chosen by 5 white men in a room. It was the 13,000 voting members of the Academy.
Yeah.
I thought that was so...
Do you like The Weeknd?
Oh, no.
Yeah. I mean, he's got a nice voice, and occasionally song can be good, but it's just not for me.
I do like his voice.
I don't know who it's for.
I just don't like the music he puts out.
Yeah. He just, like, sells out stadiums instantly, and I don't know who's going, but obviously, like, 100,000 people at a time.
Yeah, that's crazy. I think a lot of women like him. I don't see it, but...
Good for them. Yeah, agreed.
I thought it was so amazing of that guy to be like, The Weeknd said he was never coming back, and you know what? I forced him back to perform on this stage, and now he's eating his words. It's like, I know that wasn't how he was saying it, but that's how I interpreted it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense for sure. Well, any last thoughts on the Grammys?
I had a question for you. Did you think that Doja's outfit was jockstrap inspired? Because it was also very close to straight person in a jockstrap.
Doechii or Doja?
Sorry, I meant to say Doechii. Oops.
Because Doja was there too, wasn't she?
I don't remember seeing her. But possibly.
Well, it was Tom Brown, right? I think that's kind of his signature style, like the armband thing. But it definitely had, jockstrap vibes. I will agree.
Okay. Well, we were close. But I liked that.
I liked it. I would wear that.
You would look so good in that.
Thank you. 10 more pounds. Maybe 15.
Oh, you should just go to Chipotle. Be there in a weekend.
I'll consider it. Well, on that note, thank you all for listening.
New episodes come out every Tuesday. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. You can follow us on our socials, our personal Instagrams, at Jojo_Patron and at Queen Kip. Thanks everyone for listening, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye.